It is August 18th, 2023, and this is the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Tonight, talking about SmackDown, talking about Edge's 25th anniversary. And
congratulations, Adam.
We were all edging tonight on the edge of our seats, waiting to see what was going to happen. Rumors flying that this could be his last appearance in WWE for a while, perhaps. Who knows? Who knows what the future has in store? I'm Glenn, joined by Issa and Alfred. How's it going?
As well as it can be, you know, busy news day, but it's been a fun day. It's been a very active day.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
But it's good to be here with you all. Very excited. Very excited to discuss this. But before we dive into the SmackDown, Alfred, what's going on in the news?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about some legal drama, ladies and gentlemen. Cash Wheeler stays with the Blicky. Our own John Jordan, who is live in the chat, I believe, has a story right now on Wrestling Inc. about Cash Wheeler. It's been updated all day. The FTR member and AEW tag team champion was booked. He was arrested and charged Friday morning in Orange County, Florida, with aggravated assault with a firearm. So everybody and their Glock was making Arn Anderson jokes all over Twitter today. There's an arraignment video of Cash Wheeler, who appears to be sporting a black eye. There was some kind of confrontation. The victim has spoken out. He said that at one point he feared for his life as Cash Wheeler pointed a gun out of his window. This is according to the victim's story. Cash Wheeler has entered a plea of not guilty. AEW has issued a statement. They said, quote, AEW has been made aware of the charge, and we are closely monitoring the situation. Cash Wheeler is fully cooperating with local authorities, end quote. Of course, FTR is going to face the Young Bucks at All In. As of right now, it seems like the match is still on. We don't know if Cash is going to be in jail or if he's going to be available to face the Young Bucks, but it seems like the match is still on as of right now. But a lot of drama going on here, more backstage drama that AEW definitely doesn't need, and what is supposed to be their finest hour. Cash Wheeler, Blick Talk. Issa, start us off.
I don't understand. In Puerto Rico, that's how we greet people. So I don't see how that's a big deal.
And this happened like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, July 28th is when it happened. And he was arrested on August 18th, which is today, this morning. But it happened dating back to July 28th. But for whatever reason, a lot of the wrestling media didn't run with this. Maybe it was being kept under wraps, but nobody really knew about this until recently.
I mean, it's a crazy story, right? Like, road rage incidents happen. People do dumb things when they're driving. But that being said, like, the allegations, if true, are kind of crazy for a professional wrestler in such a high-profile position to think that this would possibly be a good idea. If they're true.
They had Arn Anderson cut a promo about Glocks and stuff. Doesn't that make them kind of support this behavior?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to getting in trouble, like, I don't want to sound like an old carny or whatnot, but I mean, this just kind of adds to Cash Wheeler's street cred to me. You know, it's not something that you would prefer happen. It's not something that makes AEW look particularly good, but this is a tough, hardened, old school pro wrestler. They walk out to the Midnight Express theme, which is from the 70s, the Territory era. This is the type of stuff that you would be rewarded for if you were working under Bill Watts. I understand that it's a new generation. I do not advocate for any type of gun violence, loaded, unloaded, or pistol whip. But Cash Wheeler's street cred just went up, especially on Twitter.
He didn't come out of the courthouse like Tupac yelling "Thug Life" and spitting at the cameras.
That was the only thing that was missing. That's what he should have done. He looked like a defeated puppy. He should have done the Tupac walk. He should have done the walk out the courtroom, and they would have been the biggest stars in wrestling.
He did not look. Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. I'm just pissed off that we didn't get a Florida Man headline. Like, it should have been Florida Man flashes gun during road rage incident. That would have looked so much cooler.
That's what I think is going to save Cash Wheeler, is the fact that this happened in Florida. The judge is probably going to look at this like, what are you wasting your time? Okay, so what? He stuck a gun out of there. Let's get to this guy who stuck an alligator in his mouth. Like, this is light work for Florida.
I don't know. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, this is kind of like a 5. And I'm not trying to diminish this at all, what he did. Like, people could have been hurt. Like, this is not good if this is true. But I'm saying in the pantheon of wrestling scandals, this is like kind of an in between.
This
is a 1. This is
Why
a
you think it's
wrestling
a
one,
one?
and it's a Florida half. Like, I watched Tales from
Wow.
the Territory and some of the stuff he's in Dark Side of the Ring. I mean, this
There
wouldn't
was a
even
lethal
be
weapon
an
involved.
episode of Dark Side
I
of the Ring.
give it a 5 because there was a lethal weapon involved.
Sure.
How do you know it was a real gun?
Yeah. Could have been
That makes it even crazier. Because in Florida, isn't it Florida an open carry state? Like, why would you brandish a fake gun if someone else has a real gun? Like, that seems like, I don't know. I mean, like,
you never know. To defend people with fake guns, my senior year of high school at Pleasant Valley High School, which is the same high school Aaron Rodgers went to, I almost got expelled for bringing a fake gun to school because me and my friends would shoot each other with BB guns, and one of them stuck the gun out of the window, and we all almost got arrested together. So I understand having a fake gun in your car. Maybe he just wants to protect himself.
I just want to point out that I went to high school with Jadir Molina. We even graduated together. So just to flex, since Alfred
Aaron
had to do
Rodgers is a
that.
bigger
He
sports legend.
had nothing to do. I mean, I think Jadir has more rings than he does. But anyways.
Yeah, well, maybe he's been married a couple times.
Anyways, I don't know. Glenn, who went to your high school?
Johnny Gomes from the Giants went there after me. Jeff Gerstmann of Giant Bomb fame. Green Day played at my high school.
Yeah, but did you guys
at lunch.
skip classes with them? Because I did.
Well, Jeff Gerstmann and I did. He's the reason why we both dropped out, because we would leave at lunchtime and then never come back. We'd go get 7-Eleven
that.
nachos and go to his house and like watch Kids in the Hall and like Comedy Central and just hang out listening to like hip hop, and yeah, those were good times. But no, I think it's interesting. Now, from my city, from Petaluma, Winona Ryder went to the opposite high school, on the opposite side of town. That's
I
like
pulled a
one of the
gun
things.
on a cockroach recently.
Well, there you go. That's one way to control.
You got to
a bug.
protect yourself from these cockroaches. You never know if they're. Maybe the cockroach had a gun.
We have
You know,
crazy,
in Puerto Rico, possible.
Hell
we
yeah.
have like crazy lizards in the backyard, and they just eat all the crickets and bugs. So we're just,
That's
you
good.
know, that's
Like
our
an ecosystem.
control. Heather Abood
That
saying that
privileged life.
the Cash Wheeler story has been all over the local news. There in
Oh, yeah.
Florida.
I've seen it on a lot of mainstream news site. I have a story on Forbes right now that you could check out on my website at Forbes. I'm almost at 1 million page views this month. And I believe that's history because I'm doing it for the second time.
Well, congratulations on that, Alfred. But we just have to give a shout out for a second for the MDB 999 who said Glock roaches.
Hell yeah. We love it. Clock roaches
Love
are
that.
out here. And of course, on Wrestling Inc., John Jordan has a story. So this is all, I don't want to promote the stories of this. This is obviously a very serious instance in terms of Cash Wheeler being in jail. And what I legitimately want to ask is, how do you think this is going to affect AEW All In? This is a very big match, even though it's been a shittily promoted card at All In. They have announced the Young Bucks versus FTR in one of the bigger matches on this show, which is a history-making show. That news being buried beneath all of this backstage drama. But what's going to happen with FTR versus the Young Bucks? Start with you, Issa.
I mean, Issa, what's your prediction?
Young Bucks win?
just that.
Yeah.
I think this is a popular theory that Mark Briscoe is going to show up and fill in with Dax.
Wow.
Oh my God, that was one of my favorite memes in regards to this situation, because I love the internet. There's nothing can be serious ever anymore with the internet. But there was a meme that had the Leatherface that showed up on Wednesday was going to be the replacement.
Oh,
That's
there you
going
go.
to be tagging in with Dax. That was probably top tier meme for me.
Yeah.
Here-
There was another one showing Jey Uso.
That would be Tony Khan. Like, if he wants to take this up a notch.
What if
Edge is real life friends with FTR, so Edge could be one of those people.
I
who
mean,
could
Edge is
show up.
allegedly done, right? Like, tonight was it.
Yeah,
This is the
man.
last thing on Edge's contract. That would be, I mean, like, if I'm Tony Khan, you need to make lemons into, lemonade here and distract from the situation. Because I could see the Bucks making some comment in their promo. Maybe Dax is out there and it's like, oh, I see
Tony
your
Khan,
short
the same
partner.
Tony Khan that sat there and let CM Punk did what he did, while he just sat there quietly. You think he's gonna do something?
Yeah,
about
Tony
this?
Khan is
Just
this is not
confirm-
Tony Khan's
just
decision.
confirm
This
me.
is
Tony Khan has no sway in this?
FTR was the favorite. They were the betting odds
Yeah.
favorite heading, and I did expect them to win this match at minus 250, which is pretty sizable. But with this news, you would think that the Young Bucks should go over, but they're only going over if that's okay with CM Punk.
Well,
if
yeah,
CM
I was
Punk
gonna
says,
say.
I'm walking out of the show if the Young Bucks win, which CM Punk knows no levels of pettiness. This is a man who had Ryan Nemeth blocked from Collision because of a subtweet. So if you don't think CM Punk would pull a power play and say, my friends are not losing to the Young Bucks, they could lose the titles, just not to the Young Bucks. If you don't think CM Punk is capable of that, he is. So if CM Punk is okay with it, the Young Bucks will win.
I was gonna say we all know CM Punk is the head of HR, so the punishment of Cash Wheeler will depend on the head of HR's decision. Maybe he took one for the team. What if he did this to get the heat off of CM Punk?
CM Punk gave him the gun. We got to check that gun for fingerprints. See whose fingerprints are on that gun.
What if Dax
Remember the
comes
movie
out?
The Joker, where the guy gives him the gun and then everything happened, and then the guy tries to say he didn't give him the gun? It's like that.
What if Dax is surprise tag partner is Ace Steel?
Oh, there you go. And then they retain the titles.
I mean, this is, I've learned a new saying since I've lived in Vegas, and I've lost a little at gambling, which is that I have to laugh because if I don't laugh, I'm going to cry. And I think that in this story, like I'm reading the details, reading the victims, the affidavit of the victim, one Daniel Mata, Wrestling Inc. has the story, but he's talking about that he saw this Jeep driving erratically. He took photos of it. And then the Jeep pulled over the right shoulder. When he passed it, he saw a man with a beard pointing a black semi-automatic handgun out the driver's window at him with a strong stare.
Strong stare.
Sounds like a snitch to me.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't see what the problem is. He's just a pro wrestler being a pro wrestler. This is a territory wrestler. FTR
What if he
always
was a
been
wrestling
70s
fan
wrestlers.
and they recognized him and they were like, bro, we could like really mess this up, you know?
Yeah.
Whole thing is just crazy. John Jordan, $5 says, appreciates the shout outs. AK, I don't have the streets worldwide, but I have the Florida streets for sure. If cash got cash, you should be fine. All in. I don't know. I don't think you can travel to another country.
Yeah, you can.
Can
it's
you?
not that deep. Yeah, they didn't ask for his passport. He got out $2,500 bail. Like they didn't. Yeah,
Yeah, that seems kind of like 25 bail or bond.
it's the same thing, you know.
Well, $2,500 bond's non-refundable. It's 10% of the $25,000 bail.
Who cares? CM Punk paid it. He's making
Wait, did CM Punk? Did CM
I
Punk?
don't know, Glenn. Why
I'm
would you
sure
take
he
anything I say seriously?
Yeah,
No, breaking news on this podcast. CM Punk has paid Cash Wheeler's
did he Suge Knight this for
I just want to make
cash?
sure everybody watching know I'm the one you don't take seriously. So please understand that whatever I say, do not take it seriously because some people do.
At what point, to be fair and present this from the CM Punk side, at what point do we book and arraign Kenny Omega for constantly pointing finger guns at people? We don't know if that gun is loaded, that he points and says bang every single week. Why do we just let that go?
When did this become the Daily Show all of a sudden? Like, I thought we were supposed to cover the story, and now it's
We are covering the story. There is no
covering the
story
story.
to cover.
Yeah.
If
This is
if
journalism.
You get arrested for that in Puerto Rico. They'll prosecute the
For finger
cop that
guns?
wastes. Yeah, they prosecute the cop that wasted the judge's time for bringing somebody to jail for flashing a gun. Like, but you know what? Isn't the NFL suspending players for flashing guns on Instagram Lives? Like,
Well,
apparently,
John Morant's losing a quarter of the season for flashing a fake gun in his car. So listen, everybody, we're an anti-gun society, or at least we pretend to be, until somebody does a mass shooting and
so
nobody does anything
do
about
we
it.
change Jeff Hardy's entrance? Is he not allowed to like anymore?
Yeah, I think you should do it with his whole hands.
And how pissed off are you if you're the Gun Boys?
The Gun Club is claiming gimmick infringement.
They're gonna update that reference. There's gonna be no more
If they
gun
don't come
references on
out,
AEW.
if they don't come out with Cash Wheeler in that badass entrance at some point, what are we doing here?
Do you think they're going to have to become the SOP boys? You know, like
Yeah, they're gonna have to change that name.
The paintball boys.
The paintball boys. Paintball boys sounds like a real thing. Like, there's a paintball team that has pictures of them like wearing bandanas and throwing up gang signs with their paintball gear.
With the Z,
You know?
Paintball Boys with a Z.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
they made a rap song. They think they're like, oh, this is before your time. There was a group called, there were two things. One, there was a Lifers group, which were actual rappers who were like incarcerated, like with death sentences, did a record called like Lifers Group. And they're all referred to by their prison numbers. And then there were the Bloods and Crips Banging on Wax was the other like big, like gang authentic hip hop record that came out in the early 90s. And they're all wearing their blue and red bandanas on the cover. So that's what I picture the Paintball Boys like photo looks like.
There are a
That's
lot of
amazing.
gun references on AEW television, so I don't know if they're going to have to do anything about that. I don't know if they're going to lead into it.
You're just
But
making the new
it's
leader of the
interesting.
Bullet Club.
Yeah.
Oh shit! And man, this is like
Bullet Club. Arn Anderson, of course. We've got the Gun Club. We've got Cash Wheeler coming back. Kenny Omega pointing a weapon at people every single week.
well. Thank you,
Tony
tonight for
Khan had
tuning-
an AK-47. I don't know if anybody saw that.
Thank you everyone for tuning into Wrestle Roasts tonight on the Wrestling Inc. podcast.
We have a good time. Levity. Levity is the key to
Yes.
gun violence.
Shout out to Justine A, Sid Fishy Killer of Demons, Edward Cousins, MDB 99989, the Brainchild.
Everybody
Alicia
watching
A,
us. Thank you.
everybody watching tonight. We know the links have been going on.
Put your guns in the air,
lately.
everybody. Hey, put a gun emoji in the chat in support of Cash Wheeler.
The
Let's go.
green gun. Come on,
Blick
the
up.
green gun.
Hey, I
Green
think
gun.
it was Heather
Whatever gun
B who said, all Glocks down. It was a banging single.
Please, come on, everybody. Let's support Cash Wheeler with some blicks in the chat as we move on to our next story.
Yeah, what
I know
else
we
is
did
going
see-
on?
We saw John Cena tonight on Edge's retirement show. John Cena wished Edge well, along with a lot of luminaries in WWE. But you may not see John Cena or The Rock on TV amid this writer's strike. I know a lot of people have had a talking point that now that the writer's strike is going on and no movies or TV are being made in the foreseeable future, well, The Rock and John Cena and Batista might have extra time to go on WWE TV. But The Rock's right-hand man, Brian Gerwitz, who does follow me on Twitter, who has an amazing book out that you should get, he said that he would be shocked if The Rock appeared anytime soon on WWE TV because of the writer's strike. Said Gerwitz, quote, even though WWE is not affiliated with any of the guilds or any of the SAG, I still think it's a bad look for a prominent actor like The Rock, Cena, or Batista to appear on any entertainment program while there is a strike going on. Which it does make sense. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because this is The Rock's, this is the president of The Rock's production company, $7 Productions. So this is a guy who's saying this, so he's advising The Rock not to go on WWE TV as well. So don't expect The Rock to go on WWE TV during the writer's strike. Although Brian Gerwitz did say that he would be more shocked if The Rock retired. He does expect The Rock to get involved with the bloodline at some point and beat Roman Reigns probably, but he does not expect The Rock, Cena, or Batista to be on WWE
Beat
TV
Roman Reigns.
during. He didn't say that. I just added that
Yes.
during the strike.
We shall see.
When's
Young
The Rock coming
Rock.
back, Issa?
Young Rock has been canceled. He's got some
He
time. now.
fears the tribal chief. We all know that.
It's really kind of fucking crazy how long this strike is going on now. I mean, we're
Yeah.
already seeing TV shows that were renewed getting canceled because it's going to be like till 2025 till we have new content again. Very weird time.
It is. We could see Raw on NBC. There are light whispers that it may go on Wednesdays on NBC, which would be a very fun time. But Raw on NBC is sounding more and more like a possibility the longer this writer's strike goes on, because they're going to run out of written content to put on TV, and WWE is able to operate without the writer's strike because they're not SAG affiliated.
Greg, give us more Survivor, more Big Brother.
Yeah. They should just keep adding people to Big Brother until the strike is over. I want Janelle back. We can get Kesar getting evicted for the 7th or 8th time.
We have 2 seasons of Survivor every year, so add another one. Do a winter season of Big Brother. I wouldn't be mad at that.
They did that a couple. They did like a
Well,
celebrity.
they had
Big
the
Brother, and
celebrity. The celebrity
yeah.
happened like in the winter. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and they've done. They also did a winter Big Brother when they had the couples.
Over the
and
top.
I never got sick of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I love Big Brother. So
Yeah.
reality TV is just blooming right now.
Hey man,
And
Paramount
content creators,
Plus.
if you're a content creator, I know there's some in the chat and there's some on this podcast as well. This is your time too, because if they're not going to have TV, content creation is going to be the alternative.
Paramount Plus has 9 seasons, 240 episodes of The Love Boat, and we're just working our way through them.
Glenn really sold me on the Love Boat, and I'm going to get into it.
I sold you on it by saying there's an episode where Scatman Carruthers teaches white people how to do the ham bone.
Well, it's more than that, but that's what put me over the top.
Which is still like, I've had to go back and rewatch that because I'm like, I can't believe. Also, light spoiler, there's an episode where Reggie Jackson is on the cruise and doesn't want anyone to know that he's Reggie Jackson, and then gets really bummed out. Nobody's treating him like Reggie Jackson.
Oh, that's from the Yankees?
Yeah, like the
He's
actual
reason
Reggie
I'm
Jackson.
a Yankees fan. I love Reggie. That's my favorite baseball player
Yeah.
of all time.
Well, there's an entire episode, Reggie Jackson. Great.
It's awesome.
And I think the Harlem Globetrotters show up at one point, which I'm really excited about. Because as a kid, when the Harlem Globetrotters went to Gilligan's Island or had the cartoon, like that was always a high point. And I'm bummed that here we are in the year 2023 and I've never seen a Harlem Globetrotters game.
Wow. They're a lot of fun.
So I've heard.
Spoiler alert, the Globetrotters will win.
Not always. There was that one game
There was that one game. Yeah.
where the Washington Generals squeaked out a win.
Shout out to Beer Money because he says the challenge is the best. Not trying to change the subject for whatever weird shows you guys are talking about.
Wait,
but
you
the
don't know about the
challenge has a new season right now and it's good.
Wait, Issa, you don't know about the Harlem Globetrotters?
Yeah, you were in New York all that time. You don't know about the Harlem Globetrotters?
Yeah, I don't.
You don't know about Sweet Georgia Brown?
Historic team.
Oh, I do know that.
That's the Harlem Globetrotters.
And they do all the tricks.
Sure.
As a kid, it was amazing. And then I went to a real basketball game and I was like, this is so boring compared to the Harlem Globetrotters.
The Harlem Globetrotters, they would do this trick where they would bring a kid onto the court and they would all run in on the kid and then they would back out and the kid would be in a Globetrotters jersey, right?
Oh
so
God.
when I was there, they did it and the kid started freaking out and crying, so they had to back off and the kid's clothes. And the kid was half naked.
Am I allowed to make a super inappropriate joke right now?
Oh yeah, I just talked about a half-naked kid on Harlem Globetrotters. I don't know.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. So, oh God, where did Glenn go?
Okay, let's hear it.
Nothing. I was just gonna say that while you guys were talking about whatever you're talking about, I was gonna do it, and then I was like, no, that's important. We can't be pointing guns anymore.
No guns. This is a gun-free zone.
I'm looking around my studio and I think maybe I have a hot glue gun somewhere around here, but I think that's the closest
MTV's been on fire shouting out N1, which is what a time to be alive when the N1 mixtape shows are out there. I think they have an Untold, a Netflix documentary on them, and N1 was great in its day. Great shoe, too.
What else is going on in the news?
Well, that's it. Well, we're going to talk Edge's retirement and whatnot, but we can get into that when we talk about his last match. I know there's rumors out there, but they were not addressed.
Do you think he's retired? Do you think he's? I don't think he's retired.
I don't think at all. I think he's trying to get that one final bag, and I think he's going to be a very hot free agent now that his contract is coming up. I think AEW would love to have Edge. I think WWE would love to have him back. WWE and AEW are about to come up in terms of their TV deals, so I fully expect Edge to get broken off, even at age 50.
And if you think, oh, WWE's not threatened by AEW, I would say, where was Christian in all those montages tonight?
I was wondering the same thing. I thought, we've seen so many times where WWE allows AEW talent or vice versa. CM Punk allows AEW talent to go on WWE programming and, wish somebody well. They've done it with Jericho, or I think it was a John Cena memorial or celebration where Jericho was on the TV, but we didn't see Christian, and that was very shocking to me.
I mean, really, and I know Edge has had a very healthy, long solo career, aside from Christian, but I mean, that was very conspicuous, that absence tonight.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was seriously surprised because I did expect maybe they did film something with Christian and WWE just decided not to use it.
My wife pointed it out. My wife, who pays half attention to SmackDown, was like, where's Christian in all of this?
Yeah.
I was like, that's a very good point.
Hanging out with dinosaurs.
Yes.
Don't talk about anything like that.
And thinking, hey, Dax, if you need a partner. Do you think...
They'll put him on a freaking ghost face mask or Jason.
Dude, that's what they should do at All In, is they should have everyone go up through the night to Dax and be like, hey, man, sucks what happened. But, if you need a partner, and then actually have Cash show up as a surprise.
Do you really think Dax cares? He was tweeting memories and reminiscence while the news were breaking on Twitter. That was the funniest part. He was like, oh, this happened 2 years ago. And the comments were like, does he know?
He knows what he's doing.
Man,
I know, it was great. The comment section was top tier stuff.
He shouldn't have stopped doing that podcast.
Oh, yeah. This would have been the highest viewership of all time for that podcast. And he kept going.
Yeah. Well, what else is going on? We got any other news?
That's
90,000 tickets sold for WrestleMania.
That's right. That was mentioned almost as many times as Edge's anniversary. Is WWE promoting 91,000 tickets the week before AEW has outsold WWE, which it's funny because AEW's big story has been buried by a lot of this backstage news, and WWE is going full-fledged promoting the 91,000 tickets sold for WrestleMania, the
That's
most
for 2 days.
ever. For
That's
2
for
days,
2
yes.
days.
And it's more than a 2-day WrestleMania for this year in LA. But you know what the game is. They have to get that 91,000 number out because it's so much more impressive than the 80,000 number that AEW is going to be promoting.
It is impressive. And if you think about it, wrestling as a whole, the fact that AEW just sold that amount, the fact that WWE is selling this amount this far in advance, it just makes it promising. Maybe it is what you guys were saying. You know, there is nothing else to watch on TV. There might be some people coming back to wrestling just because there's nothing else to watch. But it feels like wrestling is on a hot streak right now.
This is definitely a boom period for wrestling. There's never been more money in wrestling than right now. And that's WWE alone. That's forgetting the company that just broke the Wembley record for a wrestling event. There's never been more money for pro wrestling than there is now. And the ratings have been sky high.
Although, and I don't know if you know this, you know, in the music industry, when you release a double album, every sale counts as 2. So when you see bands are like, our album just went platinum, like it's really a gold record. It was just a double album.
So if you release like one of those double CDs back in the day, does that count as 4?
Good. Seriously, the more like each unit, they break it up by the number of discs. If you released,
what about the Titanic VHS? That used to be 2 tapes too. What did that count as?
Malcolm X was 2 tapes as well.
No, I think it was up to 1 movie. But if it's a double album, there's a special classification for double album.
Speaker Box, The Love Below is the greatest double album of all time.
Oh my God. Incredible.
In fact, that's where that Eminem lyric came from, that you couldn't sell 2 discs if you sold a double album.
Yeah. He wasn't dissing Outkast. He was just
no. But that's specifically that rule is what he was referring to.
Right.
You know, and so I would always hear bands that were like, "What if I release like a 1 million CD record and I sell 1 copy?"
Sweatsuit by Nelly, another great double album.
Yes.
Sorry.
Man, isn't it crazy that Magoo passed away this week? From Timbaland and Magoo fame. I legitimately, like 2 weeks ago, was going to tweet like Missy's still making records, Timbaland still making records. What's up with Magoo?
Oh man, yeah, it's sad.
Crazy,
very underrated component.
Very underrated. Still hear "Love to Love You" like at least once a month in a casino. Like that song never went away because the casinos have a very limited playlist. I've learned.
Yeah.
Like, and you know what I've never heard in a casino? "The Gambler" by Kenny Rogers.
Well, they don't want to trigger
guilty
people.
Feelings. Yeah, I was gonna say.
I see people say them. I'll be playing next to people, and they're like, "Well, you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them." You know, like you hear that, but I never hear the song play.
You never will.
I will punch them right then and there. Deadass. I would just punch them if somebody said that next to me.
I just started doing the Gambler. I do. Yeah. Well, we'll talk later about my pork. Wait till Issa. When are you coming out here? We talked about this off the air last time.
I am hoping between the next month or 2.
Okay.
Between the next 8 weeks.
Because you know, Paulina Rubio is playing 2
I know
nights.
you told me.
I got tickets for 1, but we can go to the other one.
All right.
It'd be great. And you
there is tempting.
You'll have to translate for me her between song banter that I don't understand.
I got you.
Up Jumps the Boogie was a great Magoo song.
Yes.
That is actually one of my favorites.
What was the one? Here We Go, the one with the Spider-Man theme, the melody that they took from that?
Oh, I don't remember what the song was called.
I think it was called Here We Go.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think it was Here We Go.
Yeah. Solid. Good times. You know, that was about 25 years ago when Edge was making his debut with WWF. Timbaland and Magoo were on top of the world.
Here we go.
Here we come. That's what it was. Now that's gonna be stuck in my head all night. Also remember that song Missy Elliott did with Scary Spice from that soundtrack? That was also pretty tight. Remember the Moulin Rouge soundtrack and how good their version of Lady Marmalade was?
Yeah.
Just talk about all the old memories.
Remember how they all hated each other?
So good. I saw Patti LaBelle live, and I saw Patti LaBelle sing Lady Marmalade live, and I was like, this isn't as good as the Moulin Rouge version.
No, it wasn't. They didn't all hate each other. It was Pink and Christina Aguilera hated each other. IRL stuff.
Yes. Well, tonight, if you like Edge, tonight was your show. What's the next what's the next payback?
Payback
September.
September 2nd in Pittsburgh.
They built a few little things tonight, but with the bloodline, taking its sweet time on this storyline, tonight Edge was front and center. Sheamus and Edge got like 3 segments. They got the entire last half hour of the show tonight.
And they delivered.
Yeah.
Very good. Although I kept thinking
it was going to end early and we were going to get a retirement speech.
Or I thought we were going to get a surprise attack. I thought someone was going to come in there and beat up
By
Edge.
who?
I don't know. I heard Kevin Owens was there tonight, that he's back in wrestling. I was like, maybe Kevin Owens attacks him. Somebody attacks Edge and sets up a feud. Maybe Randy Orton, although that would be
that would have been awesome, actually.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, I thought, how often do they do this tribute send-off sort of show and it really goes off without a hitch? We all thought tonight's Edge's last appearance at WWE for a while, 25th anniversary. Shane McMahon's going to come out and start a feud with Edge. Something's going to happen at the end.
I'm surprised there wasn't at least a speech. They like went right off
They
the
might
air.
have been off the air.
Probably.
They might have been.
Yeah.
Grayson Waller should have attacked Edge.
They already had a match.
Yeah, I know.
Hit on the man's wife.
So we got highlights from Edge's career, his solo singles career, not his tag career, his singles career. They showed the edited yearbook with the most likely to become a WWE champion. The original said WWF. They had to fix it. But let's talk about the video packages tonight. Kurt Angle, John Cena, Kevin Owens. A lot of familiar faces sending their well wishes. Nice.
No Christian.
Yeah, no Christian.
No Dax. No Cash.
Well, that would have been a little.
No Tony.
No. Tony at the end is like, call me. You know?
Hey, thanks, guys. Edge, now that your contract is up.
Oh, it was great.
But it was nice to see all this. It was nice to see the highlights. The match with Sheamus, and we'll talk about that more later, but that was really good. I think the speech last night was really good, but this did kind of feel like WWE realized like Edge hasn't re-signed, and we got 2 weeks to get the last juice from this lemon.
Yeah.
Of course, that's what they do. Remember the Shield's last run before
Yes.
Dean Ambrose left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before that, we had Grayson Waller hosting the LWO and the new U.S. champion, Rey Mysterio. And Rey and Santos seem pretty buddy-buddy, given everything that has
they
happened.
should be. They are LWO. Why
Yes.
wouldn't they be buddies? That Santos couldn't go. Rey stepped up. The title stays with the LWO. It makes perfect sense to me.
I really hope
Can't-
Santos doesn't.
I
turn
can't
heel.
have this faction break up. Okay, have a tattoo.
Yeah.
We
'Cause
need them to
that's-
stay together.
Yeah, that's that too. Hey, listen, it'll be a collector's item.
It's a great backstory to it. So at least I'll still have that. It's like the
But,
Joker. You want to know how I got these scars? I say, you want to know how I got this tattoo? And then I
Yeah.
can start telling it.
It looks. I'm glad that Grayson Waller like brought up like, hey, aren't you mad? Isn't there tension here? Because when the heel's bringing up that Santos could turn, it kind of tells you he won't, and I don't think he should. I think he could be a money babyface for WWE, and hopefully he doesn't. I just kind of still nervous. He's now wearing suits a lot more, and I really hope that he doesn't ultimately turn on Rey and take the title because we don't need him to be a heel. I mean, there's so much value in him as a babyface.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see a lot more. I think Santos has always had great fits if you watch throughout the last few months. But I like this segment. I was a little bit distracted by the fake tweets. I can't help but to read them. They're
Grayson
so
is a great
ridiculous.
swimmer.
Yeah, this is the best way to open SmackDown. And like, oh, look, it's the best Aussie alive. Like, what are these things that you're scrolling through?
Yeah,
But they're
that's
funny.
something.
They're funny. It's really cool to see. I wonder if Santos is actually injured because I would assume that we were still going to get that. I would assume that Rey was going to give the first shot to Santos. So
Yeah.
we're going to play this injury angle longer. But I like where this went. I don't like the end result. I guess we'll get into that
Yeah.
next.
So Austin Theory interrupts
Austin Theory cut a good promo. And I come to realize that every time that Austin Theory loses something, he cuts good promo. So we should just have him job out every single time. When he lost the briefcase, he got kind of good. And now he lost the title. And I thought his promo was pretty good tonight.
Like a bum-ass Corbin situation.
No. He could never.
I already said I'm buying low on Austin Theory after he lost that belt. I'm buying low. His stock is at an all-time low, and I think that he's too big to fail.
Well, LA Knight came out. LA Knight,
go.
America's
Yeah,
sweetheart,
He got a bigger reaction than Edge did.
in Toronto.
In Toronto, in Edge's home country, for his retirement match, 25th anniversary. This was a 25th anniversary pop for LA Knight.
Yeah.
It was a really impressive pop for him.
But then, in true WWE fashion, there was number one contenders match of LA Knight versus Austin Theory with The Miz on commentary.
First of all, you didn't even mention that Adam Pearce came out in the worst fit of the night and made the match.
I blocked it from my memory.
He had what was that? Why is he dressed like my grandpa? How old is he?
He's a
I have a
grandpa.
question.
Adam Pearce? I'm going to say
Is he a grandpa?
He's like 47. I don't think he's a grandpa, but he's near that.
Oh,
age. I think
yeah,
he's
he's
47
45.
or something. Yeah.
No, 45. Same age as my brother. 1978. He's looking old.
It was a bad fit.
It was a bad fit. So
Miz had a good fit. I like Miz's fit.
Miz always has a great fit. Miz came out, was on commentary. Austin, LA Knight pumped the crowd up. LA Knight versus Austin Theory seemed like LA Knight was gonna have a pretty easy win to become the number one contender, and man, was that crowd here for it until the Miz caused a distraction, and Austin Theory is the number one contender for that U.S. championship he just dropped.
I thought the Miz was very good on commentary. Him going back and forth with Michael Cole was very good. Kind of made you forget that they used to be like joined at the hip in 2011 when Miz was champion. But the second LA Knight came out to challenge, you knew that he's in a feud with the Miz. So the Miz is going to come down at one point, and the Miz was there the whole time. So you knew that LA Knight was going to lose. And I will say WWE, even though they realize how popular LA Knight is and how over he is, they still seem reluctant to push him. They are pushing him. And they do realize it's the star, but they've had multiple people tonight come out, Paul Heyman and The Miz, talk about you're yesterday's news, you're the flavor of the month. And it's like, I know they're heels and stuff like that. You don't want that narrative constantly being put out there for WWE.
Attitude era cosplayer.
Yeah, wannabe. And it's like, listen, man, I get it. They're heels, but you come up with better insults that don't these are like the podcaster insults that people
Flavor
use.
of the month? Who says that? That's like the most old person. Actually, isn't that
Adam
language
Pearce?
that,
Adam Pearce always says that.
Isn't that what Hank Kingsley used to diss Vince Vaughn? I mean, like, yeah, that's like old person insults. You know, you're just a fad, LA Knight, like ripped jeans. Like, I mean, it's just, yeah.
I thought about this completely differently, Alfred. I actually thought, hey, maybe we're going to put the United States Championship on LA Knight before he faces The Miz at Payback and have the title on the line. Maybe I don't even know why I thought that.
Maybe they're saving him to take the belt off Roman.
Oh, Cody. It'll be Cody at that point.
I hope that you both understand that you have been so completely wrong about Roman losing. This one to Sami Zayn, this one to Cody Rhodes. Like, if I was you, I would just shut up instead of continue to be wrong and have receipts of it live here. Like chill. Okay,
we've all been wrong because you said Roman 4 belts and he lost that match, and then he lost to Jey Uso.
I have never been wrong about Roman in a singles match for the undisputed Universal WWE whatever championship they call it now. I have never been wrong about that, and you and I both know it. And now you're just like you're just crashing. You're just looking for something at this point. You're worse than the person that accused Cash Wheeler right now. You're just looking for something.
I'm just saying that everybody's human. Everybody poops. Roman Reigns loses. He's going to lose in Philadelphia. There's my next prediction. I'm saying as not a prediction. This is not a prediction. This is a spoiler. Roman Reigns loses to Cody Rhodes in the main event of WrestleMania 40.
He said this like before LA. Like you said this.
I never give up.
It's so sad. It's
I
so
think-
okay, John Cena.
I think LA Knight is more over than Cody Rhodes is right now.
He's more over than anybody is right now. The operative word being right now. But at any given moment since Cody Rhodes' return, he's been no lower than the number 2 babyface. Right now, he's still number 1. He's still the top guy. He still feels hotter than everybody else.
Right.
But there's always going to be a people's champion come along. The other time, Sami Zayn was more over than Cody Rhodes at one point. Things come and go in WWE, but the difference is Cody Rhodes is forever.
When you think of number 2, think of Cody Rhodes. That's Alfred Konuwa.
Yes, because he is the shit. You're right.
When did that start? This was like bad meaning good, you know? Yeah.
That's when did that stop? I miss when you would. I mean, it came back when you say she's a bad chick, but I feel like people don't even say that anymore.
No, it's true. And when did they start using baddie instead of the other B word? That's what I want to know. Baddie's that's not interesting.
When they had to say it on network television, TBS doesn't let you say the other word. Oh, they actually
not. Yeah, just weird. Just weird. Damage Control took on Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair tonight.
This match slapped. I liked it.
Loved it. Best women's tag team match of the year. Low bar, but I love this match. Both teams work together very well too.
Yeah, it was great. Charlotte was bleeding.
Yeah, that made the match better.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed this match. I like how everybody worked together. Of course, we're used to Damage Control, but just seeing Charlotte and Bianca work together. But at one point, like, we go to the outside and Bianca is holding onto her knee and Charlotte's holding onto her ankle. And I'm like, what is happening here? Like, is any of these women going to be able to finish this match? It was funny. The visual of it was funny. But I got to tell you, this might be, I mean, like you said, the bar is low, but this was probably the best women's match of the week.
Have you noticed last week with Charlotte's entrance and tonight with Io's entrance? And here's why I'm just pointing this out, because I think they're building towards something. We had Charlotte come out in her robe last week and she had the hood and she was looking down and then she lifted up and go, it's Charlotte. It's Charlotte's entrance is Charlotte. Tonight, Io came out to the back and it was like, she turned around, oh, it's Io. I feel like this is leading subliminally to where they're going to do a surprise where, oh, it's so-and-so, and then it's like Asuka or somebody else underneath.
Or
Kyrie. That's a good call. That's a good call.
Because I noticed this last week and tonight. They did the same sort of thing.
Charlotte has been doing the hooded thing since she came back. She's been wearing all of this amazing gear and the big capes, but I didn't catch it with Io. I like this one. This is a good. It was paying attention to detail, Glenn. Look at you.
Yeah,
great match tonight. I thought it was really good, and I like that Charlotte and Bianca won, but then Damage Control beat up Bianca after that.
Look at what KOD says in the chat. He says Kyrie, and we did hear some rumors about Kyrie being backstage. That could be another crazy surprise they could pull up.
Yeah,
I did say Kyrie too, but I don't think it was very. I think he's copying what I said.
And then Bianca riding high off the new Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch Fortnite skins that came out this week.
Yeah.
No, she's riding high after seeing Beyonce. She's got that Beyonce glow.
Her Instagram post was so freaking iconic. She said, I wanted to jump the stage, but I didn't want them to confuse me for Beyonce. And I was like, yes, go off, please. Her fit was incredible. Shout out to her. I'm going to shut up. I'm not even going to say it. I'll shut up.
Okay. I really like this match. I like the aftermath after. I like what they're doing with the Damage Control and Bianca. I think, going from this then into the Street Profits versus the OC, just really good momentum. So I like that they kind of had to get the rest of the show into the first 90 minutes to free up that last half hour.
Because he pays very well.
And that's a nitpick I actually had with this show is that the Street Profits, Montez Ford, obviously married to Bianca Belair. She gets horribly injured backstage, and they just cut right back to Montez. And he goes in wrestling like nothing happened. Nobody mentioned that man's wife just got attacked. He's not concerned with anything like that.
Maybe he didn't.
He's a real heel.
That's a healthy marriage where you don't
that
have
on the big screen.
And he's like, she's going to take care of her own business. I'm at work. She's at work. We're not like our marriage takes a pause during the workday.
He don't want Bobby Lashley to think he's pussy whip, He's got to pretend. He's got to play it cool. Otherwise, Bobby might kick him out.
If they were doing a heel thing, that would actually be amazing. If he went to tend on her and Bobby was like, what's up?
You're getting distracted, Montez.
Yeah. But they got an easy win tonight against OC. Poor Gallows and Anderson. Like,
Man, and Mia Yim and AJ Styles, they just feel like they're just there. Like they're not a big deal.
I mean, AJ at least gets wins, but the rest of the Bullet Club
Against Kevin Cross and he's
but the rest of the
insurance
OC,
salesman hair. That doesn't count.
But the OC is booked. I mean, Gallows and Anderson in particular, like, have not been booked. Like they and Hit Row can commiserate with how well their return has gone.
Yeah, they're just some warm bodies to lay down for talent.
That should be a tag team name.
The warm bodies.
The warm body. And it should be like two like attractive guys. It should be like a Pretty Deadly sort of a Maximum Male Model sort of thing. And people will be like, yeah, the warm bodies, they're just there. Steve Marcuccioli with the real question, $1.99 super chat. Would you hold Io versus Asuka until WrestleMania?
100%. Book it.
Yeah. That's gonna be great.
Yeah, it is.
So this Paul Heyman promo, we saw what happened with Roman, Solo, Jimmy, and Jay last week.
Yeah, unnecessary video package for a show that we needed to speed up.
It's the soap opera. You said they got a recap for people that didn't tune in, and they knew tonight was going to pop some lapsed fans with Edge.
Mm-hmm.
So it probably wasn't bad they showed it, but Paul Heyman and the way he turned that around on Kayla of saying, what's going on with the family? And then he's like, do you want me to ask about your family? And then he asked these detailed questions.
It was awkward.
It was like Paul creeped Kayla's Facebook page before writing this promo.
He scrolled down her entire Instagram feed.
Yeah. He went on Ancestry.com and figured out her family tree. You know?
He should have said all the problematic relatives she had. Because
that would have been amazing. That would have taken this up a notch. But this was Paul Heymaning, and he got a phone call. And Jimmy Uso's gonna be on SmackDown. It would have been funny if Kayla would just been like, "Your phone's not even on. You're not even talking to anyone."
That's a prop, Paul.
Yeah.
They did all that just to tell us Prince Harry is going to be here next week. Who cares?
And he trolled the crowd too. He goes, Jimmy Uso is going to be here live on SmackDown. And you could hear the crowd popping.
Yeah.
And he goes, next week.
Yeah.
That was dirty.
Paul's great with subtleties too, because whenever he has to cut a promo when he's sad, he grows out his beard a little bit. He doesn't dye his hair, so it's gray, and he looked like crap by design. His eyes are red.
I just want to give a shout out to Paul Heyman for 35 years of using a cell phone as part of his gimmick.
It would have been better if he kept that big phone that he had.
I was going to say that. If he still had the
time.
big phone, that would be so iconic.
That would be good. But yeah, this was a good promo, good segment. We'll see what happens in the Bloodline soap opera next week. And then we have that main event, Edge versus Sheamus tonight.
Great match.
A friendly match, but a fierce match, which is tough to do because that promo they cut last week, the bromance between these guys, they went out there tonight and they didn't hold back. They didn't pull any punches.
And Sheamus was in the video packages as well.
Yeah.
You know, just showing his appreciation for Edge. I love seeing his family. Beth just sitting in the crowd, just enjoying the moment with their 3 little girls. It was a good way to get you in your feels, whether it was a retirement, whether we're just celebrating 25 years and he comes back. It felt special. Tonight felt special for Edge, and he deserves all of that. But the match, what a freaking banger. Like, Sheamus is so, I don't want to say underrated. I think that a lot of people are appreciating Sheamus a lot more now. I feel like a few years back, nobody really like a lot of people were just not giving him his flowers, and Sheamus deserves all the flowers. It takes 2 to tango. When he hit him with that bro kick, I was like, there's no way that Sheamus is going over here, right? You know, like there was so many great false finishers from beginning to end. Incredible match, but we have 2 Hall of Fame, Edge already, but Sheamus definitely a Hall of Famer. Like, what can you expect from these 2, especially from what we've seen from Sheamus recently? That match with Gunther still holds up for me. So I was very happy. This was fun.
Yeah, this is a great main event. I think it was really helped by the fact that I could have seen it go either way. So I believed a lot of the pinfalls. I could see Edge going out on his back if this is his retirement. I could see Edge going out on top just as his 25th anniversary to send the crowd happy. So I thought this was really good. They did a great job. They worked their asses off. And I hope Edge stays. I think there's more to do with Edge.
You know what's funny? It's like I'm seeing all these video packages. I'm obviously doing my watch along, cheap plug NYC Demon Diva YouTube channel, but I'm sitting here like going over with my chat. Oh, what's your favorite Edge moment? If he has to go on his own terms, this and that, right? You're doing all of this. He might retire, and then you see him put on a match like this, and at the end of it, I'm like, yeah, please don't go. Like, come back next week.
Yeah,
We're okay. We're okay with a fake out. Like, I have no issue with, because it does feel like he got to come back, and we got so many good feuds, so many good matches. But it still feels like there's so many more matches that I would like to see Edge be part of. So, I'm just saying, Edge, stick around, bud.
He's not showing the wear and tear and signs of fatigue we see with a lot of other wrestlers.
They've done a good
when they
job
get 50.
at using him sporadically and not really, wearing him out. I think it's been great. I think even since his comeback, obviously Roman Reigns stacking him and Daniel Bryan, one of my favorite moments. But I think since his comeback, like those matches that he put on with Seth Rollins were just absolutely incredible.
The greatest wrestling match with Randy Orton.
Oh God, why you know what? There was something about that match though, the nostalgia when the mic came down, the referee dressed with the old school. But why do you have to bring that up? Or
that was actually a really good match.
It was a good match, but didn't him and Randy had like during that Performance Center WrestleMania, that last man standing match that lasted for like
the one that went to the gym.
That was a horrible match. Yeah,
that was so bad.
We got the He Who Shall Not Be Named reference.
The greatest wrestling match was good, and if it would have not been built that way, it would stack up there. The problem was that they put this freaking, but I get it. It was more of a nostalgia thing, but regardless, that match was fun. But this comeback has been incredible, and I do feel like he has more left in the tank. But no matter what, like, let's just say that tonight is the last that we see him. I'm so glad that he got to do it in his own terms, because it felt so unfair the first time with everything that happened and how it went down. It felt like a wrestling fairy tale. And, sometimes wrestling does get me in my feelings. Tonight was one of those nights.
Very good match. I just kept expecting some swerve at the end. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
God forbid that we just have a good, friendly 1v1.
Wrestling.
No. Yeah, I agree with Glenn. I wanted something at the end. At least I wanted a speech. Are you retiring? A heel turn? Something.
No.
They hugged at the end.
Yeah, they did.
They just kept showing Sheamus. So you think that there would be some story behind it, like,
Sheamus is so good.
If it had really been the end, Judgment Day would have came out and lifted Edge up on their shoulders.
Begged for him back.
Yeah. I don't know.
They're going to be splitting up soon. So
I still think
they really fumbled the bag with the Judgment Day.
Nah, they didn't. I thought when they kicked him out was kind of gangster, if you want me to be honest.
It was kind of what?
Gangster.
I think this might have been his last match in WWE, but I don't think it was his last match ever, because if it was, I think Beth they would have had a moment. There would have been something more.
They're going to have a moment. What makes you think they're not having their moment?
I mean, on camera.
Glenn.
Not like the time, not like Edge and Lita.
Glenn, we already had that from Edge. Come on.
It'll be a moment. Edge has stamina.
Okay. So that was SmackDown tonight. It ended, but instead of Edge and Beth, we had Edge and Sheamus celebrating their romance. Yes.
I haven't gone back to look on social media if he says something off the air.
I think he did. I saw some things on the chat that said that he might have said something off air.
Okay. We'll see, man.
Glenn is trying to see Edge and Beth Phoenix moment.
I'm just saying there's a lot of never mind. I'm not gonna I had a joke there, but I'm like, no, this isn't it's not appropriate. But no, I think I'm very curious to see where Edge goes from here. I don't think he's done.
I think he's being a very smart free agent.
Yeah. Now let's say he goes, do you have him show up at All In? You have to, right? Because All In right now, I think All In is going to be a spectacle to watch. I want it to be successful. I think some of these people have a chip on their shoulders to put on an incredible match, right? But I don't know that All In needs to have that moment that makes you go, holy crap. And I'm not sure that with the matches that are booked, we're going to get that outside of some good wrestling. And we see good wrestling all the time, right? So I will say, right, if Tony Khan can score him, he has to be at All In. But let's say that he stays with WWE. When do you have him show up? You can't do the Royal Rumble again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he already had that epic Royal Rumble return. Like, when would you have him show up if he was to stay in WWE? Or who would you want to see him feud against next if he was to stay?
That's
You
interesting.
say you wanted an attack. Who? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a good question. I mean, Royal Rumble would be the stock answer. It would be very basic. I agree with that. Maybe WrestleMania. WrestleMania is not that far away.
Right. I mean, there's already going to be 90,000 people there.
Yeah.
I know. But can they turn all the lights off in Wembley if Edge shows up? Like, can they make it pitch black before Edge debuts?
They're going to think it's Sting. No, we can't do that.
Yeah. You can't take that gimmick. They do need something in Wembley. I don't know if it's whether they pull the trigger on MJF and Edge breaking up. I mean, MJF and Adam Cole breaking up somehow. Hopefully not.
But there needs to be something in that show. That would be a holy crap moment, not the holy crap moment that you go like, wow, remember when this happened in Wembley at All In? I can't wait to see All In. And I'm very 50-50 on how I feel about it, but I want it to be successful. But I want to have that one moment that makes you go, oh my God, I'll never forget when this happened at All In. I do think, you know, and I'm just speculating, but I do think Edge showing. Imagine if it's Goldberg instead of Edge.
Goldberg could be one that's been in the air. There needs to be, I think, in addition to whatever moment they have with that card, there should be somebody showing up as a surprise. I mean, the streets tell me Jade Cargill, maybe, who knows, but something that like that's never
is
been
that a surprise?
That wouldn't be that wouldn't be the holy crap moment that you know I'm trying to
nobody in house.
Like, you know what? I'll throw it to Edge. Like Edge showing up at the Royal Rumble. Like that felt like, oh my God! Like that. It only needs to have a moment like that. Just even if it's just one moment, something big has to happen.
So Jey Uso would be the number one biggest thing they could do. Oh my God!
Bye.
It's not happening.
Jey Uso being out late.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar would be the second biggest thing they could have.
I swear, if you strike out, I'm leaving.
Okay, Edge is number 3, and Goldberg is number 4.
No, why?
I will say, if we're going to compare Wembley shows, the Wembley show at SummerSlam did not have any big holy crap mode. They had the Road Warrior pop. They had the great match. It was a match with Bret Hart and British Bulldog. We all remember the pin, but there was no one moment that you think about like, holy crap, like it was the great match that we remembered. So if AEW has a good enough match at Wembley, maybe that's what people will remember. It's just that wrestling is inundated with great matches.
Yeah,
but compare these shows to a show that happened over 30 years ago.
Yeah,
sure you can. They're both in Wembley. They're doing it today.
TK's got one trick.
What is it?
Which is like, hey, this person's with AEW now. Like that means right. He keeps going back to that. So yeah,
we do have surprise people joining for that Stadium Stampede. I can't wait to see how they do the Stadium Stampede match. Like I'm so curious to see what it's gonna look like. Yeah, but I don't know. I really wanted to like just be good. You know what I mean? But I want it to be more than just good wrestling. We see good wrestling on weekly free TV. I need something to feel like, oh my God, you know.
I want a surprise.
Yeah.
And Shane McMahon in AEW.
There you go. Now we're talking.
And AEW
Stephanie
Underground.
McMahon.
That would actually be incredible.
Oh my God.
Okay. Well, we'll see. That's it for Wrestling Inc. tonight.
Hear me out. CM Punk and Kenny Omega have some kind of face off. You do have to build for a pay-per-view a week later, so something's got to get right.
I mean, I would be shocked. Hey, listen, that would be a moment. If you
all right.
Okay,
Hear me out. Larry versus my dog.
Well, you better get that dog on a flight now. I don't know how good Roman does on long plane rides.
He does great. Roman is a world-class traveler. He has traveled with me to a lot of places. Please, what kind of dog do you think my dog is? I check in at hotels and they have dog beds and dog foods ready for him. Come on, Alfred.
Pet hotels.
No. Like actual hotels.
You get the actual human rooms.
Shout out to the A-Loft here in Ponce, Puerto Rico. Every time I make a reservation, they ask me, is he coming with? And I'm like, yes. I walk in and there's a dog bed, a toy, treats. It's a beautiful thing. They take my money all the time, basically.
Yeah, Loft
good
is
for
great.
Roman.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Monday, Raw. Tuesday, NXT. Thursday, Dynamite. Friday, SmackDown.
Sunday, All In.
Yeah. Well, at 1 p.m., right?
Yeah, early. Well, for me, it's going to be 10 a.m., which is great. I love early pay-per-views, so I can spend the rest of my day doing stuff.
Watch it from bed.
Yeah.
Till next time, everyone. We'll catch you back here on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take
Bye.
care.